Hey, what's going on YouTube? Recently a subscriber asked, hey Tom, how much money do I need to make in order to actually afford a Subaru WRX? So today I'll be talking to you guys about that. Starting off this discussion topic, question is, how much money do I need to make in order to afford a brand new vehicle, let alone afford a brand new Subaru WRX? Guys, unfortunately, I don't have a concrete answer for you. However, I strongly do believe that anyone at any type of financial level is able to afford a brand new vehicle. However, it is ultimately depending on how prepared you are at coming into this circumstance and how you are at this contract. So most people forget that when you're buying a car, when you're financing a brand new vehicle, it is ultimately a contract. People don't really think about that. They're like, okay, I'm buying a brand new vehicle. If I could leverage and get this this price or this monthly payment, then it's all good, it's all dandy. However, you have to read the fine print, and unfortunately guys, we don't really read the fine print anymore, especially with users service agreements and stuff like that. It's so long and so taxing that not a lot of people actually sit down and read through it. You just click and sign, and essentially you sign your soul away. So be very, very careful. When you're financing a brand new vehicle, it is a contract. So the bank will loan a certain amount of money to you. So let's say I'm buying my brand new 2018 Subaru WRX for $28,000 out the door, and I down paid my $6,500. Now the remaining loan amount is what the bank takes out and pays for the car in full. They receive the title or the deed to the car, and you are lent your vehicle, and you're to pay them off at a fixed loan duration amount with an accrued fixed interest rate. So that's how it works. So you are under contract, and the car isn't actually owned by you, it is owned by the bank until you pay it off. And so that's how they make their money, that accrued interest rate. So be very prepared at gauging into this contract, this new relationship, right? When you're buying a brand new vehicle, it is a long-term agreement. It is not a short-term relationship or anything like that. So credit plays a very, very crucial role. If you have a bad credit score, I highly recommend not buying a brand new vehicle, or if you can, up your credit score as much as you can, and while doing so, save and put away as much money as you can, so that way you can develop your equity, and you'll have more money in the end once you have a good credit score, and you'll have more money saved up to be able to buy the car in full. So cash is king. If you're able to, buy the car in full if you can. Now, how much money do I need to afford a brand new Subaru WRX? Now, I'll give you guys some guidelines. Starting off with number one, your out the door cost, or your bottom line price, ultimately dictates how much money you're going to use as a down payment. So often when you go to the dealership, they're going to stay clear of the out the door price, and they're going to try to talk to you about your monthly payment. That's how they get you. So let's say they're like, hey, what if I can get you your brand new Subaru WRX for only $300 a month? That sounds so enticing, but then once you get to the contract and everything, and you look at the out the door price, you're looking at anywhere from $32,000 to $34,000, and their APR interest rate is like jacked up through the roof. That's how they get you. So stay clear from the monthly payment. How you approach it is the out the door price, or the bottom line price first. So I'll use myself as an example again. My target price was $26,000 to $30,000, but I was able to negotiate to $28K out the door, and that was acceptable by my book. If I spent a little more time, I could have definitely gotten an even better deal, but given my circumstances and given my want for this car, I decided to move forward with the $28K price range. So number one is knowing the out the door price, and that's when you could kind of leverage and gauge at how much money you need. The second thing is the down payment itself. So because I'm at $28,000 out the door, I wanted to focus on a monthly target, like how much money that I'm able to pay per month and not be in the red, that I will stay afloat and I'll still be able to afford things, be able to go out, be able to pay for all of my other expenditures. So my target price was $500, including my monthly car payment and my insurance. So with that, I came up to about $6,000 to $7,000. Now, if you have more money, the better. However, I recommend, we're in a world where loan is very, very common. So as long as you have the money, you know, on standby, it is okay to take out a loan. And you know, if you're able to pay it off at any time, it's fine. I highly recommend taking out a loan because it'll up your credit score, and it is healthy. It is actually really good for you, because if people pull up your credit score when you're ready to buy a house, and they see that you were able to pay off you know, multiple vehicles or pay off a car, those are the big purchases in life, and they're going to be like, oh, well, we're more trusting of you because you were able to pay off such a higher loan amount, versus, you know, just having little small credit lines of, you know, anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. Those are very, very small. So buying a car and taking out a loan for a car is actually very healthy for you. And I'm not a credit score or like a APR percent guy guru, but from talking with a lot of investors and real estate guys, it is actually very, very healthy for you. So $28,000 out the door was my bottom line price, and so I ultimately chose $6,500 as a down pay amount, which brought my remaining balance to $21,500, and I financed at a rate of 60 months to pay it off. Last but not least, guys, is number 3, have an emergency fund. Not a lot of people think about cases of an emergency, especially when you're buying a brand new vehicle like this. People think about the cost itself and the monthly payments, but they don't ever think about all of the setbacks that could potentially happen when you buy a brand new vehicle. So what happens if your financial circumstances change? What if you lost your job? Are you still able to afford this car? Will you still be able to make your payments? Or what if an accident occurs? Are you able to pay the deductible? Are you going to be able to repair your vehicle? Or what if ultimately in the end you are in a bind and you have to sell your vehicle off? Are you going to be upside down on your loan, or are you going to come up top? Are you going to be able to recoup some of the money back? So not a lot of people think about that. So my recommendation is to have equal to the amount of money that you use as a down payment. So I'll use myself as an example again. $28K out the door. I down paid $6,500, and I also have $6,500 minimum on standby in the case of an emergency. So wrapping up this video, you got to focus on your out the door price. Know exactly how much you're going to pay for this car. And number 2, know exactly how much money you're going to down pay on the car, and how much you're going to finance, and how much the APR percent rate is going to be, and how much you're going to pay in interest itself as well. And number 3, have an emergency fund on standby in the case that something were to happen. So for me, with a $28K out the door price, I needed at least $13,000 to be able to afford my car at a rate of $500 a month, including monthly payment to the car and insurance premiums. So final comments and wrapping up this video, I hope I was able to help you guys out. If you guys have bad credit, I recommend not to finance a vehicle, but to buy it outright, or to be a little more patient and pay off all of your pending loans and bring up your credit score, and while doing so, establishing your equity and just save a lot more. And of course, focus on your out the door price when you're gauging into the market. If you're going to buy yourself a brand new vehicle, do your best to haggle and get an out the door price that fit your budget, and after which down pay accordingly, so that way you're not upside down on your car loan. So that way, if anything were to happen, you will come out unscathed. And so that leads to, of course, having a emergency fund available in case that anything were to happen. And also, it also helps to have the emergency fund because this is a sports car, and if you decide to do mod this vehicle and anything were to break, that you have that money to use to compensate for those setbacks. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And of course guys, don't forget to subscribe.